Oh, all right, everybody. Sorry, I just had an oatmeal cookie right now. I want to finish this, and I was gonna do it off camera, but I don't think it would be right of me to just do that without you guys here to see it. I think that would be not very good of me to do. So, and because of that, I'm gonna keep going. You know, you know. This time I can take my time because I am no longer in a time constraint. I figure this would be better time as any to make sure that things get done. If you catch my drift. So go ahead and join me on this continuation of this oddly interesting journey of me rambling as I try to reassemble this knife in all of its glory, being a better and new and improved blade. If I can, there we go, get everything to fit as such. So yeah. Yeah. Let's try to get all this stuff. I'm trying to keep everything in frame. I'm sorry. I'm trying to also look a different way so that way I can be able to see what I'm doing. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to get these new handle scales on there because I myself like a lighter handle when I'm flipping. I'm not a huge big time flipper. I've seen people in videos of people doing some crazy stunts, aerials. I think as cool as it is, I'm not a competitor at that type of thing. I know a couple of friends who are really good at that. And I myself, I don't flip my knives that crazy. I mean, I flip them, and I know how to do some small tricks. I know how to do the Chaplin. I know how to do, the Y2K or whatever that's called. I know how to... the only thing I don't know how to do are too many of the aerials where you spin them and then you catch them and then you catch them on the inside of your elbow, and I don't do any of that stuff. That's just... I've seen too many horrible things happen, and I'm gonna stay away from that myself. I'm already a klutz as it is. I don't need to sit here and put myself in a position where I need to go to the hospital because my stupidity got the better of me because I thought that I was too confident, in doing a trick that I know that I shouldn't be doing. But, I know how to do the simple opening and closing and all that, and I know how to do the latch drop open and, all that cool stuff. But I also kind of like to think that I can use my knives, too, without having to do all those flashy moves. I don't really believe that all those aerials are necessary, but they're really cool to look at. And they require a certain type of skill. I'll give it that. But I don't really find it at all. Did I do it again? Yes, I did. Yep, I did it again, where I put it on a completely different way. Oh, man, I always think that... Oh, okay. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Like I said, first time I've ever done this. And I can tell you right now, I am learning. I am learning. How to do this? Well, now I know it's like, yeah, see, I did that wrong. It's supposed to go this way. Okay. There we go. That's what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah, that works. All right. Now I just gotta put it all together, swing it around a bit, and hopefully it'll not fall apart and go through the window and accidentally maim somebody. This bit's way too big. What am I doing that for? And yeah, I've learned from my mistakes using balisongs. The thing now that I see is a lot of people removing their latches from their balisongs. I think it's like a new trend going on now. I don't like doing that because I like the indication of knowing where my bite handle is. Because when I remove this, I'm not going to know which handle to grab, you know what I mean? Unless there's like some sort of indication showing me that this is the bite handle. Unless I follow these two pins or something like that, that would probably help me out there. You know, making sure that I don't screw up and cut myself like I did before, and I didn't realize till after. That's those two scars right on my knuckle right there. You can see that? That's what happens when you take a $500 balisong and you grab it by the bite handle. Yeah, it sliced me open pretty good. And imagine that. Every time you went like this, the cuts would just open up because it's right on the, right on the knuckle there. So, but you learn as you go. You make mistakes, you learn from them. You know, I've cut my hand a couple times performing a simple trick with my knife balisong, but if you're a true balisong user, you will be honest about your mistakes, and it's always best to let people know if you are going to do this, this is going to come at a cost. You are going to see blood. You're going to see red, especially coming from, mistakes from flipping a balisong the wrong way when you weren't supposed to. So you will learn as you go. This was surprisingly easy, to be honest with you. I mean, there was a couple of hard parts about it, but it actually doesn't look that bad. I think I'm going to tighten the pivots a little bit because there's a little bit of handle play right there, and I don't really dig that very much, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm trying to make sure that this is all lined up. Do what it's supposed to do, where it's supposed to do it. Because I don't want to... The last thing I want to do is... I don't want to tighten this to the point where I can't do anything with it. And then, the handle scales have too much play. It's too big. Right there, I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, this one's a little bit tighter than I'd like it to be. Right there. Okay, so now it's just this one right here that needs all the help it can get. There's no handle play on that other side. There we go. That's a little too loose. I have to tighten that up just a little bit more. No handle play whatsoever. Now what you want is you want it to freely swing, but you also want the pivots to be nice and strong on there. The screws, I mean, sorry. And there's a little bit of handle play, just a hair. Just a hair. There you go. Ah, no handle play whatsoever. The creme de la creme, my friends. All right, so latch seems to be working. Screws are nice and tight, not overly tight, but tight enough to where, you know, things are working. I really do. I gotta be honest. I really do like this look a lot better. To me, it looks a little bit more traditional, and it's lighter. It's much lighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. But this came in at all of this came in at a 6 ounces with this, with the blade and everything. These are heavy. I'm holding these, all 4 of these. Yeah, these, because it's all steel. So, yeah, heavy. Bam, don't got to worry about that now. I got my Flytanium on there. Lockup is great on this thing. It's nice and it works the way it needs to. I like to keep my latch on there. Don't judge me, please. All right, I'm not a professional flipper, but I can tell you. Oh, yeah. Whoop. Oh, yeah. Smooth and lighter. So much lighter. I really do like this way more now. Now, if you're looking for this, you can find it on Blade HQ. They have the Lucha on there, and I think it's still the same price as it was. It's like 120, 195 and change or whatever. The Flytanium titanium handle scales, I will admit, were a bit pricey. They were 145, but they're well worth it, in my opinion. It makes this balisong so much lighter and so much more worth flipping. This is just all around a better knife, in my opinion. So let's just on curiosity, I really do want to see how much this weighs now, because it came in at 6 ounces. Oh, 4.61. It is under 5 ounces. Yes, that makes a humongous difference, guys. Humongous difference. I can totally tell now. Because it came in at, what, 6 ounces, right? 4.61, everybody. With this being so much lighter, it's now worth flipping, in my opinion. Because when you're flipping a balisong, you're hitting your knuckles, you know, you're moving your wrist. You want it to be as comfortable as possible. And the heavier the balisong, in my opinion, the more it's going to kind of wear on you. You know, you want to be comfortable flipping the balisong, especially if you're somebody who knows how to do all those tricks that I stated before. You want to be able to, you know, do those things and not feel too much fatigue. With this, you're going to feel tons of fatigue. I mean, this already. These scales alone. Those scales alone weigh 4.6, almost as much as the knife itself, with the blade and the latch and the hardware, the screws and the pivots, the ball bearings. Really? 4.06, that's almost a knife right there. And those are just handle scales. And come on. So Flytanium did a fantastic job by doing this, you know, and that makes a humongous difference to me. It really does. It just feels so much lighter now, and there's no tap. It's all solid. Everything's locked up solid. There's no blade play. There's no handle play. Everything is on there the way that it should be. Symmetrical. There's no bend. There's no warp anywhere. Everything was made to a T to fit this knife. And I gotta say, they did a fantastic job. I mean, it does look a little odd with all the holes on the tang, because it doesn't really match. You know, it doesn't really match the holes on the handle too much. But I mean, it's not overly bad either. I mean, it seems to fit it in a way. It just has more of a traditional look. I did not. I hate that. I don't like customizing my knives too much. I do it when I feel like I know it's necessary, and this was necessary because of all this extra metal, all this extra weight. And, you know, I'll keep these. Obviously, I don't want to get rid of them. I mean, I'm going to keep these handle scales, but this already weighs as much as a normal knife, just with these handle scales alone. And that's not something I dig. I don't dig that. This is already, you can feel the weight on this. When I was flipping it at first, when I got this out of the box, I can tell you that I did not like it. I didn't like the look. It was just way too much going on with the shapes here, with the diamonds, and I just didn't like that too much. So I love the holes in this one. This one looks a little bit more traditional. It feels better. I can flip this for hours and not feel fatigued because the titanium handle scales make that much of a difference. Got that open construction there, so that makes so much more weight reduction on this, and it's just the scales alone. So there's no little spacers, no little weights or anything like that. It is how it is, and the smoothness of the ball bearings on this knife make it a huge difference on the spin. Excuse me, I keep saying spin. On the flip, when you're flipping this knife. And I gotta tell you, I really do. And I like the look. I like the look of the knife. Could it be better blade steel? Yeah, in my opinion. I still can't remember the blade steel on this. I know that I don't care much for it. I can tell you that. Right now, off the bat, the blade steel on this knife wasn't... It's a cheaper blade steel. But that's what makes the price point the way it is. So instead of, you know, busting out $300 to $400 to $500 on a balisong, this makes it just a little bit more affordable for people who want a decent balisong. But if you do have that extra money to lighten the weight, I suggest you go ahead and when you buy this balisong, get the Flytanium handle scales if they're still available for the Lucha model. It makes a humongous difference. So with that being said, this is fantastic the way that it is now. I mean, it's so much lighter, so much better, and the lockup is fantastic. It's nice and tight. It's not loose. It doesn't feel like it's about to, you know, you have to really... That's if you care about the latch. I do. Like I said, I'm more of a traditional type of guy. I try to keep it as traditional as possible. And at the rarest ever times do I ever customize my knives. I like to keep things, you know, as they are. But this one really needed it. And that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to buy this particular knife, was because it had these. And people were saying that it was just a little bit on the weighty side. Now, what I would like is the Benchmade. There's a newer Benchmade that came out. I can't remember what the model number is, but it looks very... I think it's the 62. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. But it's a newer Benchmade that came out, and it's supposed to model after the model number 42. Now, if Flytanium is watching this at all, please make custom handle scales for that Benchmade so we can lighten it up, because that Benchmade is really heavy, and that's another reason why people don't want to buy it, because it weighs so damn much. There's a lot of things about it that are also not that great, which is another reason why a lot of people don't want it, but this Lucha, I already like it. I like the shape of the blade. I just like everything about it now, and I like it even more so now that these handle scales are on it. I'm telling you, man, titanium, dude, it's nice. Flytanium. Anyways, that's my second part of the video, my ending video. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and giving me that chance, because I know I didn't really finish the way that I wanted to finish, but I finished this way. So slash that like button, stab that subscribe, and go ahead and slice that bell icon so that way you guys are notified anytime that I post new stuff. I don't want you guys to miss out. I mean, that would suck, you know. I'm just a normal dude. I don't know too much, but I do know what I know. If you guys like my content, it's appreciated. All the support is needed, and all the support is very, 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 very much gratefully appreciated. So be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I will see you all in the next one.